yes, it probably was a scary thing to do, but again, you don't get rewarded just for sitting on the fence and doing nothing. That's why you have people who work at Starbucks, you have people who work in sort of those jobs. So, first video, who are we with today? What's your name?
Amir.
How long ago did we meet?
We met 7
When was
months
it? Yeah, it was November, wasn't it?
Late October, yeah.
And this is the first time we've actually, well, yesterday we met properly, but first time we've actually met in real life.
Yeah.
First met online. So today's video is about sort of like the understanding of, I think a lot of people in the space, especially when they're trying to get started, they want to get started, but they're always held back. Something's telling them no, external factors, all these other things. So I think you're a prime example, because 6 months ago, you had a lot of those external factors. We had a good talk on call. Fast forward 6 months, and now you're just basically a different person, a totally different person. Would you tell someone right now who's exactly where you was 6 months ago? So remember you 6 months ago, so you was working a job, you was looking to get into different spaces, you may be hopping on calls with different people. What would you tell that person 6 months ago?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, like, the worst comes to worst, nothing's gonna work out. You're just gonna learn sales, you're gonna learn all these skills. So you just risk it. Like, at the end of the day, it will still be worth it. Because if you don't take the next step, you're gonna be in the same situation in 6 months, for example.
Yeah.
So I don't see a reason why you wouldn't start it.
Yeah, because as well, you've got to look at it, it's like, if it does fail, for example, you just carry on doing what you're doing anyway.
Exactly.
But if it does work, you completely change your life, essentially.
And
so it's like,
it will work. Like, it's just a matter of time, right?
yeah, and that's, I think it comes down to a mindset perspective as well. It's like, when you first come into it, you're like, will it work? You probably self-doubt yourself. But then when you're like around people who are doing good numbers, who are, you're around them essentially every day, right? You've seen them operate every single day. You kind of, unless you give up, they're never not gonna work. It's like, you just gotta keep at it every single day. And yeah. So for you, what was going through your head right before we had a conversation? So the first time you ever met, probably loaded up the laptop.
Yeah.
What was going through your head then?
So I was kind of thinking, because it was about AI stuff, right?
Yeah.
The agency. So I was kind of skeptical about that. I didn't know it's going to work. And plus, because it's high ticket sales, I wasn't sure it's going to work. I didn't know people would actually be interested because the price is too expensive maybe. But yes, it was just my mindset was limited. There's like so much money out there.
What do you feel like limited your mindset?
Just like, I guess, the environment, right? I never really looked into like business stuff, sales, all of that stuff. So I had a limited mindset, and I never really knew about like all of this
And the
stuff.
people you were around that you had a limited mindset, was that people doing better than you, or was it people doing the same as you or worse?
Same or worse than me, of course. Like, people that were better than me, like, they will never say like, don't do that, don't do that. I always take the risk, right?
Yeah. How long was you looking to start something? So you're obviously working your job. How long was you looking to start something? Like, how long was you sat on the fence for?
So actually, when I started working, after like 2-3 months, like literally before, like 2 months before I started the agency, I had something in my head, like, I need to do something online and with AI. And I was kind of looking into low ticket sales as a start. But then I really changed my mind. And I realized the high ticket is like the only way to actually scale properly.
And I guess for you, 2 to 3 months of a job it's quite a short time, isn't it? What made you realise so early that this is just not for you?
That's a good question. So, because in my workplace, I see people who are like 30, 40, no degree, and they work in Starbucks, minimum wage. So I didn't want to be as them, right? And as people, you go uni, then just get 9 to 5, right? So that's not the way I wanted as well. Like, I just knew I need to do something as soon as possible.
So yeah, you sort of realised that your current vehicle is not going to get you to your goals. So it's like, if you stayed in that position, you're never going to achieve your results. So it's kind of like essentially a waste of time as well.
Yeah.
Waste of money, waste of time, and a waste of effort. Plus, you don't want to wake up every single day doing something you don't enjoy. I can't, like, when I first worked my job, probably the same with you, it's like you don't want to just turn up to the place every day. Maybe you're getting told what to do by managers. I don't know, you've got to be sat at a specific place for 8, 9 hours, 10 hours a day. Then you're probably stuck in London traffic, for example. And you work out, you maybe get paid 2-3 grand at the end of the month. You do all the maths, all the hours, you sat in traffic, sat in the office, or you sat on site, or you sat in the shop, whatever it is. And it works out you're like making £5 an hour after tax and all these things. So it's like, when you have goals, the goalposts move. So for you, it's like 6 months ago, get started in something. Now it's like, for you, where do you see yourself in 6 months? How much are you going to be making in 6 months?
6 months, at least 5K a month. Like, I knew it's gonna happen. Just actually putting the volume in and being consistent with that.
So 6 months ago, you were part-time. How much are you making?
Part-time,
How much are you making in Starbucks then?
1,000 a month.
So 1,000 a month. Fast forward 6 months, so now we're on track to doing 5K per month. And that probably would have never happened if you stayed in Starbucks for 20 years.
Sure.
I don't think so. I don't even think a manager would have even got that. Probably half the corporate jobs don't even earn 5k per month. And now you're doing it. Yes, it probably was a scary thing to do, but again, you don't get rewarded just for sitting on the fence and doing nothing. That's why you have people who work in Starbucks. You have people who work in sort of those jobs. For you then, did you almost back out? Because obviously this journey's not smooth sailing, right? You'll have ups and downs. You'll have really good months, some slow months. Did you ever back out? And if so, what kept you from not backing out?
So at the start, I was really bad in sales. I had no tonality, no energy. And when I started like cold outreaching, a lot of people were just saying no to me. And as I said, I got really emotionally attached to it. It made me like being so inconsistent with cold calls. I didn't want to do it. I was about to give up. But then at one point I just felt like I see all these results in the community. There's people who are younger than me, making more than me.
Yeah.
And I thought, bro, like.
And when you see like 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, even like 22-year-olds, all these people making 5k, 10k, how do you feel then when you're in the community, you're thinking of backing out, but you're seeing these people get these results?
There's no choice. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna back out after that. But there's people younger, older than me, but they make like more than like 9-to-5 jobs, right?
Exactly.
And bro, there's the community support as well. Like I see all these minded people. They have the same like mentality as me.
Yeah.
And it just kind of shifted my.
You bounce off each other as well. Because I guess for you now, your goals moving forward, how much bigger have they gone? Like the standard you've set for yourself now, is it, I just want to make a little bit of money online, or is it, I want a lot of things now? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. So before I started the agency, essentially, I just had like normal. I didn't want a 9-to-5. I didn't want a business, but it was a simple like offline business, like opening a corner shop, for example, right?
Yeah.
But now with all these online stuff, sales, all of that stuff, like mine's actually changed. I actually want to do bigger and bigger. Like there's no way I'm going to be stuck at like 10k a month for the rest of my life, right? Of course,
exactly.
I want to go to like 100k, 200k.
And people watching that probably think 10k per month, like, how's he saying he doesn't want to be stuck at 10k per month? But again, it comes down to that fact. You're probably looking at that maybe in your work. You're surrounded with people who are making 2, 3, 4k per month, and with people like Amir, he's around people who are constantly making 15k, 20k, 10k, 8k. So 10k per month, such a young age as well, it becomes like a baseline. And then you always have bigger goals you want to achieve. And that's why you're probably looking at it's like 10k per month, oh, I'd be so happy with it. But you get to it and then you're like, right, I want 20k per month. You get to 20k you want 30k per month.
It's never enough.
Exactly, and that's the whole purpose of standards. It's like, I think a lot of people think, investing into yourself, it's like a one-time thing, it never works. You just constantly invest in yourself. Like, you've come on board, you've invested in yourself. It's probably going to get to a point where you're stuck at 5k per month, you're stuck at 10k per month. You want to invest in yourself again. And I guess people like before then, let's say before you come on board with us, like people who are sat on the fence, they're hopping on calls, but they're scared to like invest their money into something. They're scared to get the help. What do you say to those people?
Bro, like, that's something that I've found when I started. Like, the worst comes to worst, if I still had my job and I didn't start agency extension, I would still be in the same place. Like,
you make it back next month anyway.
Even even without clients, without agents, like you still learn sales, you learn marketing. This community of people, networking, all of that stuff. It's just really worth the money.
And I think with people, they hold on to money so much, and I think that's how everyone's sort of like tuitioned. I think it's because, number one, because you're earning like £6 an hour or £10 an hour. Let's say you save up 3-4 grand, and then you're looking to like start something. You attach yourself so much to that money because it took you like instead of spending 2, 3, 4,000 pounds, that's took me 2.5 months to save, or it's took me 8 months to save. So they attach money so much as an important factor. But if you detach from money, essentially, like no one wants to spend 2, 3, 4,000 pounds, but sometimes it's necessary to get the skill set to allow you to then make 5k per month, make 10k per month, and you don't attach the money. Then it's like, for us, when you're in the space, some days you won't even make money, but then the next day you'll make £1,000. And it's like, instead of looking at it hourly, I'm only on £10 an hour, you're now looking at like how much you make as a whole over the month. Exactly. And now that allows you to obviously operate at a higher level where you don't think money is just a resource at the end of the day. It's just like something you use to get what you want. So if you hold on to it so much, like, let's say you're working a job now, you're on £10 per hour, you're looking to get started in something, but you're scared to lose that money. That money to you, anything under like 6k is pointless to you. The bank's gonna eat it up with inflation anyway, or it's gonna sit there rot, or you're gonna spend it on nothing. So use it to get a skill set for life, that you can obviously then optimize to make 10, 15, 20k, whatever your goals are.
So that's where, at the start, I was really attached to the money, like emotionally attached. But that's where law of detachment is actually really important. Like, you don't care about the money, it's just the process, right?
Yeah.
It's actually the character development, like the mentality change, all of that stuff. Like the money, it's not. It might be motivation, but it's gonna go soon. That's why law of detachment is really important for that.
Comes and goes,
exactly.
money.
It comes and goes. Like some months you might have zero, some months you get cash collected actually. Like it's not consistent, right? Law of detachment, that's where it actually helps you because you stay consistent with your volume, and that's how you actually get the real results.
So the version of you before you started Age Ascension, so before you even invested in yourself, that version of you, and then the version of you now, what do you think is the biggest difference between the both of you?
It's not even income wise, right? It's just actually the mindset change.
Yeah.
Like, if you saw me 6 months ago, even like the way I speak, my tonality, the sales, like the way I speak, I had no energy before. I couldn't speak to people. Now, I'm not saying I'm like the top one sales guy, for example, but like you can actually see the real progress. You can see how better I talk with people. Like my mindset changed. That's the most important part.
And I'll attach a clip if I find the fathom. I'll attach a clip of our call. In November.
Yeah, awesome. Where are you from? UK?
Like lovely lad, but like not shy, but like not confident. You could tell. But now look at him, sat doing an interview with me. Canary Wharf.
At 17.
At 17 years old. So if you are watching this, you're working a job, you're fed up. It could be you're earning really good money, but you're still fed up of being tied down to a specific place 5 days, 6 days a week. You're spending 240 hours sat in an office, working on a construction site, whatever it is. You want location freedom, you want to travel, all these things. Look at ways to invest in yourself. Whether it's with anyone, just look at learning a skill that can make you more money, essentially, right? Because that's all the difference is. If you can provide value to someone, you get paid hefty for it. And then if you get paid hefty for it, obviously you can scale up as quickly as possible. I think a lot of people they try to start businesses with no money. Like let's say they have $3,000, they try to start e-commerce or something where you spend all your money on products, then it fails. Then they start saying, oh, it's a scam and stuff, but it's not, it's just you don't have the capital to do it. Yeah. Learn a skill like sales, learn a skill like marketing where you can make a lot of money and then use that money to then start a business. That's the whole point of it. So if someone's sat on the fence, maybe they're working a job, they're looking to get out of it, but they're also scared to start something. What would you tell that person?
Yeah, good question. So that's actually how I felt at the start. Like, and plus, like, for example, spending those money on a course, it might be a lot of money, but you just have to risk it, right? Like, the worst comes to worst, you're still going to be stuck in the same place if you don't start, for example. So you might as well just risk it and actually get the proper reward for that,
Yeah, because you have one life essentially, right? Yeah. It's like you either play it safe all your life, live a maybe comfortable life, the society says, maybe you just get by, you maybe have £100, £200 left at the end of the month, or you back yourself when you're young. I mean, ages 18 to 24, you probably don't have any bills, you don't have any expenses.
Exactly, you have like 6 years left, like there's no way you're not going to make it.
You could fail like 400 times, and you could get a job at 25 and still be the same as those people who are 18 to 20 and they didn't start at all. Exactly. So look at it as like risk to rewards. But again, is it a risk if your current situation you're not happy with? Like, is it more riskier to stay in a job you hate for 50 years or to start something and it potentially fail and you just do the job anyway? So you got to look at it logically. It's like, you have one life. Either use it.
Yeah, like the worst comes to worst, you're still going to you're still going to get a job like other people.
Yeah.
But at least you tried, right?
Exactly.
There's no way you're not going to make it if you try for like a few years, for example, instead of going uni, for example. Like, there's no way you're not going to make it.
So for you watching this, anyone who's watching this, you sat on the fence, picture yourself doing what you're doing now, waking up every day, how you feel every day. Picture yourself doing that for the next 40 years. And if that's something you're not happy with, you're not satisfied, and you dread the thought of that, look to change. In small steps, just look to change. That's good. Right, appreciate you, bro.